Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Part 1, Expanding the K-12 Pipeline. As our population continues to become more diverse, it is critical that our educational pipeline includes people from all backgrounds in order to compete in the global economy. Many career opportunities will fall within the fields of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Post-millennials are already the most racially and ethnically diverse generation in our nation's history. Yet, women and minorities remain significantly underrepresented in engineering academic programs, careers, and leadership.
It is absolutely mandatory if our country is going to stay competitive in the world market that all aspects of our population become STEM prepared. We are way behind the 8 ball when it comes to our underserved communities.
I would say the biggest challenge is understanding how to get into the field in itself. If they are not made aware of what STEM is, they have no way of envisioning themselves in those roles within STEM.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion are necessary to the sustainment and prowess of the engineering profession. Expanding and reimagining our K-12 STEM pipeline and university systems is necessary to prepare our next generation of engineers.
Are there things that can be done more efficiently or effectively to help nurture, grow, and establish, interest and entry into engineering or STEM careers? Absolutely.
When I was a student, STEM education was not offered at all. So one of the biggest challenges that faces young people who want to go into STEM, especially young people of color, is the homogeneity in the field. STEM areas is a historically white, male-dominated field.
If schools are looking for students who have taken, let's say, AP Calculus, and those are folks that are qualified to become engineers or enter into 4-year engineering programs, a lot of schools in minority or underserved communities don't have AP courses. So you've completely wiped out a group of young adults who potentially could be great engineers, but don't have access to one pre-qualifying course that is essential to entering into that pipeline.
One of the keys to really address how these fields of STEM are so homogeneous is to really explore the sciences with a critical eye to social justice. That's going to make a huge impact in how young people of color can see themselves in these fields, furthering the conversation.
Today, shortfalls in access and resources are being met by cooperative partnerships with nonprofit organizations. Many of these programs, like Great Minds in STEM, were founded by engineers and STEM professionals who are now holding the door open for others. Since 1989, Great Minds in STEM brings talent and resources into middle schools. From just one middle school, Great Minds in STEM's Viva Technology program now operates in 30 states and has touched thousands of lives.
Every Friday, our students got a chance to explore a hands-on experience. It was quite authentic. There was a structure that students could jump in. They could jump in. It was guided and supported, and they had a lot of fun. They were super engaged. I can take that engagement and that interest back into the classroom and layer it.
They brought engineers from different industries and had them explain to myself and a group of other students what their careers were about, what they did, including helping design the rides at Disneyland. It was like an aha moment for me. It was like, I could do that. Like, I can start to picture what these roller coasters could look like. Something just clicked inside of me. This is what I really was meant to be. This is really something I want to pursue.
So we're one of the very few organizations can take the professional, the college student, the high school student, and the middle school student and link them towards this career path.
I did not know about STEM before the Viva Technology program. My parents were really supportive of me pursuing engineering. Neither of us knew what the journey ahead could look like.
The parents that we work with, of course, want their children to be successful, but they simply don't know what it takes to get into college. That's where we can step in and help educate them, guide them, make them aware of financial resources that are available, like scholarships. loans, financial aid, and show them what the economic benefits will be if their child graduates with a STEM degree.
But bringing parents into the process is not always enough. Being the first in your family to attend college or being the only person from your town can have emotional impacts and create feelings of isolation.
It was intimidating. It was intimidating to go from a 90-something% Latino population to a very small fraction of the population being Latino. I felt very intimidated by all these other people who came from different countries, different levels of financial privilege, different class privilege. I felt like there's no way I could keep up.
Imposter syndrome is when a person feels like they don't belong in a certain space. And you can't put your finger on where you got the messaging, and it's insidious. You don't even know what's running through your mind.
If your mental health is not in the right place or emotionally you're not in the right place, it's really hard to focus on academic study.
A group of individuals that the imposter syndrome detrimentally affects are women. And then when you narrow that down to women of color, it hits even harder.
I got into UCLA with enough credits to be nearly a sophomore, but I still felt like I didn't belong. I still felt like my admission letter was a mistake and it would be rescinded in some way. But of course it wasn't a mistake, I belonged there. And it wasn't until I shared this experience with other young people of color, my peers, that they felt like their admission letter was a mistake too.
Some people would say, well, they need to toughen up and do all these other things. But is that the case? Is it possible that the system needs to change and become more welcoming, inviting, and supportive?
Working through the self-doubt and the other challenges I faced at MIT really required reaching back to my community in LA. Viva Tech and Great Minds in STEM is very much still a part of my support circle today. I could not have done it by myself. If there are students going through their journey, I am now a resource for them as well. Whether it's inspiring someone to want to do the same career that I've pursued, or just helping someone find the career they want to pursue.
To maintain relevance at home and on the world stage, STEM professionals must innovate in design, technology, and perhaps most of all, in bringing a diversity of faces and experiences to the table.
We're in a global economy, in global competition. Believe me, our competitor nations are using every resource at their disposal to try and get ahead of the technology game.
What millennials, Gen Zers, and then the next generations are looking to see is, well, how will STEM benefit me? If they don't see themselves in these particular roles, then these organizations won't attract these individuals.
STEM has to become the tool for our students to be able to look critically at what's going on, and so that they have agency in determining and defining what their future world is going to look like.
The skills that are needed in the engineering field today are changing. Data analytics, data science, IT, information security, those kinds of skills need to make their way into the outreach programs as well.
A focus on STEM for us is going to keep America technologically strong and be a global leader in the sciences and in technology, which runs the economy for our nation. So what's at stake is the future of our country.
Expanding the K12 pipeline through strategic partnerships will prepare the students from all our communities to meet and face the challenges of tomorrow.